Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Future Wheelz. The 2026 Toyota Corolla has arrived, and it's time to take a deep dive into one of the most iconic and best-selling cars in the world. For decades, the Corolla has been known for reliability, efficiency, and affordability, and now Toyota is stepping up to give it a fresh identity that blends modern design, better performance, and tech-forward features without losing what made it so beloved in the first place. If you've been wondering whether the 2026 Corolla deserves your attention, stick around, because today on Future Wheelz we're breaking it all down in detail, from the exterior styling to the interior comfort, the performance numbers, pricing, and of course my final thoughts on whether this car is still the smart choice it has always been. When you first see the new Corolla from the front, it's clear that Toyota wanted to give this generation more presence on the road. The front fascia now has a sharper, more sculpted design with slimmer LED headlights that sweep inward toward a more aggressive grille. The lower air intake stretches wider across the bumper, giving it a stance that feels more confident than previous models. Compared to the outgoing 2025 version, the 2026 Corolla looks a little more futuristic, almost borrowing cues from Toyota's higher-end sedans and even a bit of Lexus DNA in the way the lighting signature is crafted. The daytime running lights are thin and crisp, and they give the car a premium touch that you wouldn't necessarily expect from an entry-level sedan. Depending on the trim, you get either a gloss black grille finish or a more subtle chrome-accented design, but both help modernize the Corolla's identity. From the side profile, the Corolla continues to balance practicality with sportiness. The roofline still leans toward a traditional sedan silhouette, but the subtle slope toward the rear gives it a hint of fastback styling. Toyota designers have played with sharper character lines that run from the front fenders all the way through the rear doors, which creates a sense of motion even when the car is standing still. Wheel options now range from 16-inch alloys on the base model to sleek 18-inch machine finish wheels on the sportier trims, and that makes a huge difference in how upscale the Corolla feels when you see it on the street. The mirrors are now slightly reshaped for better aerodynamics, and Toyota has even worked on reducing drag with small adjustments in the side panels and underbody panels, which not only improves efficiency but also reduces wind noise. The 2026 Corolla isn't trying to be a coupe or a full-blown sporty car, but there's definitely more style than ever before, and that's something buyers have been asking for. Moving around to the rear, the Corolla's updates continue with a more modern and wider stance. The taillights are slimmer and more connected with a thin LED light bar that stretches across the trunk, a design that has become popular in many new cars and gives the Corolla a more upscale, high-tech look at night. The bumper has been slightly resculpted with more defined creases, and the diffuser-like lower section now gives off a subtle sporty vibe without going over the top. If you opt for the sport-oriented trims, you'll see dual exhaust tips that add some extra flair, but even the standard models look more planted and modern than before. The Corolla has always leaned conservative in design, but the 2026 model feels like Toyota wanted to give it that little bit of extra personality to stand out in a crowded segment. Stepping inside the 2026 Corolla, you'll notice an immediate improvement in materials, layout, and technology. Toyota has clearly taken cues from its newer models, bringing in a more driver-focused cabin with cleaner lines and a less cluttered design. The dashboard is dominated by a new 12.3-inch high-resolution touchscreen that sits on top of the center stack, running Toyota's latest infotainment software with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. The graphics are sharper, the response is quicker, and voice commands now work seamlessly with natural speech recognition, something that older Toyota infotainment systems struggled with. Beneath the screen, you still have physical buttons for climate control, which is a nice touch for usability, and Toyota has managed to make everything feel logical and intuitive. The steering wheel is slightly redesigned with better grip contours, and behind it sits a fully digital 7-inch or optional 12-inch driver display that can be customized to show speed, navigation, safety alerts, or even hybrid system information if you go for the electrified trims. The seats are supportive with good bolstering, especially in the SE and XSE trims, while the base model keeps things more straightforward but still comfortable for long drives. Materials have been upgraded too, with more soft-touch plastics, fabric or synthetic leather options depending on the trim, and even some subtle stitching accents that make the cabin feel less budget-oriented. Rear seat space remains competitive in the segment, with enough legroom for adults and good headroom thanks to the sedan profile. The trunk offers a practical amount of cargo capacity, and Toyota has made the opening slightly wider to help with loading larger items. On the technology front, You also get available wireless charging, multiple USB-C ports, and a premium JBL audio system on higher trims, which brings better sound quality for those who care about music or podcasts on the go. Toyota has also enhanced its safety suite, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which now comes standard with adaptive cruise control, lane centering, road sign recognition, and improved pre-collision detection with pedestrian and cyclist awareness. The system feels smoother and less intrusive than before, and that's a big win for daily driving comfort. Under the hood performance is always a big question with the Corolla, and for 2026 Toyota has kept things familiar but refined. The standard engine remains a 2.0-liter four-cylinder producing around 169 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque, paired with a continuously variable transmission. While that doesn't sound like a huge leap in numbers, Toyota has worked on improving throttle response and smoothing out the CVT to make it feel more natural. Acceleration is adequate for city driving and highway merging, and the Corolla continues to prioritize efficiency over raw power. For those who want better fuel economy, the Corolla Hybrid is back with improvements, now offering up to 52 miles per gallon combined, making it one of the most fuel-efficient sedans in its class. The hybrid uses a 1.8-liter four-cylinder paired with electric motors, and the transitions between gasoline and electric power are seamless. It's not designed to be fast, but it is extremely smooth, quiet, and cost-efficient, which is exactly what many Corolla buyers are looking for. Handling has also been tuned slightly to give the car a more composed ride. Toyota has worked on suspension geometry and steering feel to make the Corolla feel less numb than before, and while it's not a corner carver, it does feel more stable and confident on winding roads. Noise insulation has been improved as well, with Toyota adding more sound-deadening material to keep cabin noise lower at highway speeds. This contributes to a more refined overall driving experience that makes the Corolla feel closer to higher-end compact sedans without jumping in price. Speaking of price, Toyota has managed to keep the Corolla competitive in a market where car prices continue to rise. The 2026 model starts at around $23,000 for the base trim, which is impressive considering the level of standard tech and safety you get. The hybrid starts just a little higher at around $24,500, while the top trims like the XSE or fully loaded hybrid models climb into the upper $28,000 to $30,000 range. That pricing structure keeps the Corolla accessible while still offering enough options for buyers who want extra features or a more premium feel without leaving the compact sedan category. So, is the 2026 Toyota Corolla worth it? After spending time with it, I think Toyota has done exactly what needed to be done. They modernized the exterior with sharper styling, upgraded the interior with better tech and materials, refined the driving experience, and kept the price right in the sweet spot for budget-conscious buyers. It's not trying to be a performance sedan, but that's never been the Corolla's mission. Instead, it continues to be one of the smartest all-around choices if you want reliability, efficiency, safety, and a car that simply works for daily life without hassle. With the improvements for 2026, it feels fresher, more premium, and better suited to compete against rivals like the Honda Civic, Hyundai Elantra, and Nissan Sentra. That wraps up our in-depth look at the 2026 Toyota Corolla. If you enjoyed this review and found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Future Wheelz, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest car reviews and automotive deep dives. Drop a comment below and let me know, would you pick the new Corolla, or are you leaning toward another compact sedan? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.